Hello everyone and welcome back to Kitchen Science Cook. Today on the channel we've got a treat. We're going to go ahead and talk about Inkbird's newest barbecue thermometer, the INT14-BW. Stay tuned. Alright, so here's the newest thermometer. They're in their flagship series. The great thing about this product, if I can get it open, it's got a nice magnetic front here so that it closes nice and quick, just like that. You open it back up. It's got fun little instructions built in along with a nice instruction booklet that we'll end up going ahead and getting into here in a moment. But the greatest thing about this entire process is this is a 4 thermometer system. It comes with its own charging port. And the thing that I really like about it is it's completely handheld. It even has a little caddy on the back so that when you're working with it, you can set it up just like so. And it looks just like that. We have a USB-C charging port here, and then we have an on and an off switch. So when you turn it on, there's 2 ways to turn it on. There's the fully on switch, and then there's the pairing on switch. We want to go ahead and make sure that we're sitting right in the center at the pairing on switch. And then we want to go ahead and get our cell phone out. We want to open up our Inkbird app. We want to go ahead and connect our device, which we have sitting right here. And then we want to go ahead and start pulling probes out. So we have 4 probes here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 4 spots on here. Now, when you use this system, in order to get this system to talk to this system, you want to make sure that you are in Bluetooth mode. Okay, I'm going to go through all the modes here a little bit later, but right now I just want to get the cook started. So the way that you can get these guys to light up is you go ahead and you pull out a probe, and the moment you do that, you'll notice that the numbers pop up. You'll also notice here that on our phone, the numbers pop up too. So what I'm going to do is I want to set this probe up, right? So I'm going to click on this. I'm then going to go ahead and click on my button, and I have several different versions. I can pick veal and beef, chicken, lamb, hamburger, pork, turkey, fish. There's several different options here, right? Even all the way down to hot and cold smoking, but I want to pick my own. So down here, I can go ahead and click that button, and I can pick whatever temp that I want this to go ahead and be set up for. So since we're going to be going into chicken first, I'm going to go ahead and just pick up some chicken. Is right there at 165 degrees. I want to hit save my cook, and then voila. So this is my current temp right here. Okay, and this is the temp that I'm going for. So what we're going to do is now we're going to talk about this. So this is our probe, and the sensing area from our probe starts at the tip all the way to right here. So whatever you're going to end up putting this in, you want to try to make sure that this centerpiece is as close to the part that's the last bit to cook. So if we look over here, I have a piece of chicken. Right, we have bone set up. I want to go for the thickest part, but I also have this bone. This is called the chine bone. It's actually sitting right in here. I'm going to take my probe, and I want to take the tag off that I totally forgot about. And I want to stick the probe right through here in the center and try to get it so that it's somewhere sitting down right in here. And then now I want to go ahead and I want to season my chicken. Okay, so we come back over here. You'll notice I have 4 of these, and I'm going to go ahead and use 3 of them today to go ahead and make some stuff. So let's pull out probe number 2. You'll notice as I pull out probe number 2, that temp shows up. That temp shows up here as well. So I'm going to take my 3rd probe, and I have a nice thick piece of pork. You'll notice that this guy's sitting a little bit over 1 inch thick, and I want to go ahead and take my probe, same idea, pop it all the way into the center so that it's sitting right around in this area here. And then I'm going to pop it back down in here, and I'm going to get ready to season. But wait, I have 1 more probe I want to go ahead and check. But before I do that, let's go into here. Let's go into setting our temp. Instead of going through and making this difficult, let's just go ahead and pick that. Now, I don't want 160 degrees of my pork. We're going to do a reverse sear pork today. So what I'm going to go ahead and do and go back, I'm going to click on make my own temp. I'm going to go to 135 degrees. I'm going to hit set cook, and voila, that's where that's going to sit. Today we're going to reverse smokes and then sear the pork so that we can get it nice and smoky yet nice and seared on the outside. So we've got 1 more piece we want to go ahead and do. So again, I've pulled out my 3rd one. Okay, and what I have is sitting right over here. I have a nice piece of sirloin steak. You'll notice this guy's, again, he's about 1.5 inches thick. So I'm going to take my probe again, put him right in the center, just like so. Okay, come back over here. Look at my system. You can see 72 degrees there, 70 degrees there, 70 degrees there. So now I'm going to open up my 3rd probe. And I want this to be about 120 degrees because I have an idea for what I'm going to do today with this. So we want to be sitting there right at that 120 degree mark. We're going to go ahead and hit. Sorry, I missed it. Mistakes happen, and I want to show them to you live on this channel. I want to go ahead and hit cook, and voila, we are done. We've got all 3 of our probes set up. Okay, now this sucker has Bluetooth involved in it. So you'll notice that little Bluetooth button that's sitting right here at the top. So all I want to do is when I utilize this, I'm going to take this outside with me. I'm going to sit it next to my big green egg, and I'm going to be able to monitor what's going on my phone on the inside. This is the greatest thing about this system. There's many different versions of this system that you can go ahead and buy, but Inkbird does an amazing job because the app that they have, it's sort of put together in a very simplistic way where you can actually see how stuff is going to go ahead and be set up. You can see how easy it was to sort of put all this together. Some of the other apps are a little bit more clunky. They need a little bit more IT work done on their app. But for Inkbird, they are an IT company. They are a computer-based company. Thermometer is just one of the many things that they go ahead and do. So my goal for you today is to explain to you how all this app's going to work with these lovely foods that we have set up right here. And then from there, we'll go ahead and cut open to them. We'll see if we get the right temps that we want. And I'll show you exactly how easy it is to go ahead and set up this entire system. All right, everybody, so we're gonna go ahead and season everything up. And so what I have here is a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. We're gonna pop that on here just a little bit. I'm gonna rub all that in. Making sure that it's on both sides. Make sure that you always do the chicken last. All right, let's go ahead and get the seasonings out now. All right, everybody, here's our seasoning. This is a mix of 2 parts salt, 1 part black pepper, 1 part garlic, 1 part onion, and a quarter part, yes, that is a quarter part of cayenne pepper. Cayenne's very spicy, but it goes great with some of the heat that we're getting out of our Frank's Red Hot. So all we want to do is just give it a nice liberal coat. We want to then pat it down. Flip it over, pat it down again. For the pork, we definitely want to go ahead and get that fat cap all the way around, right? And then for the steak, same idea. We want to go ahead and get all those sides because this is nice and thick, right? And then the chicken's a little bit different because it really is only going to be the 2 sides. So there we go. And get it into this bone area. That's really going to go ahead and matter. I'm going to lift this up, get it on here too. Maybe get on the sides here just a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and let these guys sit. We're going to go ahead and we're going to fire up the egg. And then we're going to get these guys on and we're going to reverse sear this, and we're going to smoke this guy all the way through. So stay tuned. Cut the cord with Inkbird's INT14 BW Smart Meat Thermometer. This device comes with 4 wireless probes and offers 3 operational modes through Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and a local free app that you saw me use earlier on my phone. It has 26 meat presets or menus to customize. You can receive alerts on your phone. Each probe is made from IP67 waterproof, dishwasher safe metal and features dual sensors to monitor food and ambient temperature. So yes, these can go ahead and go into your dishwasher. You get 328 feet or 100 meters of actual distance between the probes and the Wi-Fi box right here. The Smart App Control allows for multiple alarms, targeting temperature alarm, a target temp pre-alarm, and a high and a low alarm. Its USD recommended temperatures and custom options are already built in. It has a strong magnet base for easy storage. It charges in 25 minutes and has a 25-hour battery. It has 2 sensors within 1 probe, simultaneously food, oven, and temperature detector. So today we're on the egg, tomorrow we could be on the grill, the next day we could go ahead and be on the oven. Works fantastically. Has a range of -10 to 110°C for an internal temp and an ambient external temp of 0 to 300 degrees Celsius or 32 to 572 degrees Fahrenheit. It has a 30-minute offline data storage app that synchronizes for a full view high definition screen and an adjustable backlight. This is a phenomenal product. It's priced right now on sale at $140, regularly retails for $200. So I'll go ahead and I'll pin a link down below so that if you want to get yours, you can go right to my Amazon affiliate, or you can go directly to Inkbird.com and you can go ahead and get your own barbecue thermometer with 4 smart probes. All right, everybody, sorry about the wind. I unfortunately I can't control that one, but let's go ahead and get onto the rest of it. So we've got our egg. We're shooting for a temp around 275. We're just about there. We've got great blue smoke coming out, if you can kind of see that. We've got our food here ready to go. So let's go ahead and let's get our egg open. We're gonna grab our beef first, pop it right there. We're gonna get our pork next, pop it right there. And then last but not least, we're gonna get that chicken. We want to make sure the chicken stays bone down. Now again, if you remember how the egg works, the heat comes up from the back, hits the dome, pushes all the way forward in this nice circular motion. So that's what we want to go for. So we're going to go ahead and let these all internally smoke. Again, we're going to do a sear on both the beef and on the pork, but on the chicken, we're going to let it smoke all the way through until it hits 165 degrees. And now let's go ahead and jump inside, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the app. All right, everybody, so as we can see in real time, my numbers are already starting to jump, which means that our thermometer is actually working. And notice we're only using 3 while the 4th one is sitting here. I did find out one little bit of an Achilles heel about this thing, and that's that it doesn't like to go outside. So let me show you what I mean. As I get outside into the light, you really see it here. It's not great at backlighting. All the numbers are still there, but you really can't see a lot of what is going on. Good thing that this thing is rated for, you know, over 380 some feet, because it's going to need to sit inside so that it can monitor all those temps. Now, I don't have a far distance from where this is right now. It's maybe, I don't know, 20 feet at the most. Just walk outside of my lanai to my grill area. But for other folks, they may be sitting 2 or 3 stories up in an apartment away from their grill, and their grill's being utilized maybe you know, next to a pool. So for them, this is going to work out great. But if you're in a home within 20 or 30 feet, this is going to be great. But again, if you're at one of those apartment complexes and you were maybe closer to 100 feet away, that would be a great test of this particular unit. So if anybody has anything like that that they've tried and that they've done, please go ahead and link it down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to talk about it the next time we talk about this thermometer. All right, everybody, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about the packaging, because the packaging on here I really, really like. In fact, I love the last few things that I have talked about that came from Inkbird. Their packaging was amazing on how everything was set up. So I love the magnetic front. I love how it just, you can hear that click. I love how when you lift it up, it gives you all these fun little facts about the unit and how it's going to work, what its battery source is like, how far it can go, etc. I love that you get this guidebook. This is not something that a lot of folks do. You know, if I had one little thing here, I wish it was more color coded, but I get this is a very black and chrome unit, but it does have little touches of gold here and there. So I think that this is great. Forgive me, I'm holding the camera here, but it's got a lot of great stuff involved. And here it tells you all about the thermometers. It tells you all about the guide and how everything's going to work and how your setup is going to go ahead and be. So it really is a great unit. I love that they really took the time with their packaging to make it so that this was all one unit, that I can leave all of this in here and just close it and put it away, and that I can easily flip it up just so simply. I think that's great. I love this. This is great. This is not something a lot of folks do, where they show you what it's going to look like before you ever get into the units. I think it's amazing that it's got a USB-C as opposed to a regular USB or A drive to charge. I think the back little flip-up piece is just great, and how it can be adjusted. I would honestly like it, and this is just me, if this was down here, because instead of it sitting up like this, at this angle, I'd rather it sat up like this. I think that that's going to be a lot more useful for folks. So I think that if they had that little bottom piece back more down here as opposed to up here, I think that it would make a lot more sense. Based on what I'm seeing from this unit, I am a fan. I really liked the last one that they came out with, which was a single that you slid out and that you could go ahead and pop, and it just had 1 probe. I love the 4 probe. I like the mainframe. I think that the app is great. It's very easy to use. So far, I don't have any reasons to say that I don't like this product. It's priced really well. If you look at some of its competitors, they're priced double. Some are even triple. But I think that this does a really great job for what it is. So if you guys are interested, again, I've got my Amazon affiliate link down below. It is the Inkbird INT14-BW. This is a great piece of kit to go ahead and grab for that barbecue enthusiast for you. As the holidays are coming up, please go ahead and consider it. Again, let's go ahead and let's get back to the cook and let us see how our 3 proteins are going. All right, everyone, so here's another little fun one. As we open up our app and we look, we can see that our different temperatures correspond, right? But look, check this out. You can also see this is our ambient temperature, this is our internal temperature, and this is our set temperature that we have sitting on here for our product. So this is our chicken, right? If I go to the second probe, look at that, 356, 115, and 135. Okay, this is going to be our pork. And for our third one, you can see 331, 117, 120, 170. This is going to be our steak. And I think what's interesting that you should go ahead and look at, one of our probes just went offline. This was in real time. I swear I didn't make this happen. Anyways, let me get back to this and let me talk about that. So regarding the probes, look at that temp, 354. I go back and I look at this one, 336. The amazing thing about this is I know that my egg has hot and cold spots, but I've never really been able to honestly measure it until right now that I see all these different probes. So let me go ahead and figure out what's going on with this probe. Why did it die? Maybe it got too hot. Who knows? Let's find out. All right, and not even a few seconds later, you can see that it came back online. Our 120 is done, so that's our steak, so I gotta go grab that. I just hit this button down here to go ahead and stop that. And if I go back here, you'll notice that our chicken is back on, and look at our temp, 345. If I go ahead and I look at this guy, we're at 356, so it's 11 degrees difference. And if I go here and I look at our third probe, you'll notice that we are at 347. So we're all within around 10, 11 degrees, which is great. Oops, number one just went back offline again. Not sure what's going on here. Gonna have to ask Inkbird what this is and how to go ahead and fix that. But that is a little bit annoying. All right, let's go ahead and let's grab our steak off. You'll notice it is going up to 122. We got to get that off so that she can rest. All right, there we go. 126 is our internal temp, and here's our steak. This is how it was sitting when I grabbed it. I should have flipped it over, but I didn't. That's okay. When we sear it, we'll go ahead and mainly stick to searing this side, and then we'll go ahead and do our little bit of finish. But right now, we want to go ahead and let it rest for just a moment, and then we're going to get it in a pan with some butter, and we're going to sear it off. All right, everybody, it looks like our piece of pork is done, so let's go ahead and hit the timer, and let's go grab it. All right, and here's our pork. Looks great. I did go ahead and flip it over. Wonderful, 138 degrees. Let's go ahead and let it rest, and you'll notice that our chicken is at 142, and our steak I'm about to go ahead and put on right now. It's at 127. We pulled it at 120. All right, it's time to go ahead and pop our steak in, and you'll notice that I am keeping the thermometer in. So there's a tab of butter. Right? As soon as that's about done, now we're gonna go ahead and take our steak, pop it in the non-done side first. Let that go ahead and go. And we're going to flip this over a few times. We're gonna let it bathe around in the butter just to get it nice and set up. And you'll notice we can even go ahead and flip it a little bit. Look at that nice, beautiful crust we're getting there right now. So we're gonna flip it back over. The other thing that's amazing about this, you can see the temperature is the one on the bottom of the steak. It's still holding at 127 degrees, which is great. All right, and our steak is done. We're still sitting at that 127 degrees. You'll notice we got this beautiful crust on there on all sides, which is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what we wanted, so let's go ahead and get it off and get her to rest. All right, everybody, now it's time for our pork. So there's our butter. Here's our pork. We're gonna put the least amount seared side down. Give it a nice little sear just like that. See, we look after a moment. Oh, look, we're already starting to get some nice brown marks. That's exactly what we want. And again, I'm doing this in real time, just like I did with the steak. Steak was maybe 30 seconds offline. You'll notice we still got that thermometer in there. Oh, look at that beautiful brown mark. Let's go ahead and see what that thermometer looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. Our steak went up 2 degrees. We're at 129. We're still in between medium rare and medium. And then our chicken has gone up 1 degree since we put it, or our pork has gone up 1 degree since we put it in there. And our chicken's at 153. She's almost done. Look at that. Look at that real time. Look at that beautiful brown crust we've got on there. This is why I love butter searing. All those milk solids just like to go ahead and break down into the protein fibers of the meat. It doesn't scrape off. It's just amazing. It gives it this wonderfully awesome flavor. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some of this fat to sear a little bit too. There we go. Getting that to go in there just a little bit as well. Look at all that beautiful texture that we've got going on in there. Let's do the other side. Oh yeah, that looks great. Look at all those toasted milk solids. Yeah, I think this guy is done. This is like less than 2 minutes and she's back on the plate. All right, everyone, looks like our chicken's done. Let's go get it. Okay, let's see how she looks. Amazing. Hey, look at the little lizard. Say cheese. Anyways. Oh yeah, that's great. Let's go ahead and pop this guy off. We want to let him rest for at least 5 degrees and then we'll go ahead and we'll cut right through him. But the other stuff's done searing and it's done resting. We're going to go ahead and shut the egg down. As easy as closing this flue, and just putting your hands up and walking away. All right, let's get that chicken inside. All right, everybody, so we are done. Let's go ahead and talk about the star of our show, the barbecue thermometer from Inkbird. It's done an amazing job. So let's talk about this. The top is the chicken. We just pulled it off. It's got a few more degrees to rest. The bottom, or the middle one, I'm sorry, is the pork. Remember, we pulled it at 135. We wanted it to rest a little bit and then go ahead and get jumped right on searing. By the time it's been done searing, it's gone up 12 degrees. Amazing. Same thing with the beef. The beef, again, we pulled it at 120. We let it sit for a moment, then we seared it off. And now it's sitting at 131 degrees. As far as I'm concerned, these guys are done and they're ready to go. So let's go ahead and let's start with our beef. It's right here. You'll notice that it gave us a lovely au jus that we can use later. The thermometer, very, very easy. Easy to clean, as you can tell. Everything comes off just like so. Let's go ahead and take our knife. Let's do a nice slice this way. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Medium rare to medium. Couldn't be a nicer cut. Look at all that. Let's go ahead and take this, dump it in our little bit of au jus and try it out. Oh wow, that's really good. It's very smoky. So I'm gonna take these little guys. I'm gonna pop them back in the au jus. I'm gonna let them sit in there as I eat them, because that's how I like to eat it. Same thing with this guy right here. Let's go ahead and chop him open. It looks fantastic. All right, I'm gonna take one more bite of this little guy. Okay, so that is incredible. This was amazing. Let's go ahead and try out the pork next. All right, so now we've got the pork. Again, same idea, beautifully smoked, up to 135, made it up to 147, then just started to drop. Let's go ahead and get it off. It's got a lovely little au jus that comes with it. Sorry about that. That's our chicken going back and forth. So let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Again, nice and easy, cleans up really, really well. Let's go ahead and cut into this pork. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Barely any pink. Beautifully soft and tender. A little bit of moisture coming out of it. This is what we want. So let's go ahead and let's take it. Do some nice thin slices. Yeah, look at that. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want. Let me try a bite. That is amazing. We're gonna do the same idea. We're gonna go ahead and take our pieces, put them in here, in our au jus. I couldn't help it. I needed another bite. And there it is. Voila. Look at that. Amazing. All right, everybody. And now it's time for our chicken. So you'll notice on our temperature here, we've actually lost heat, which is pretty normal. It's a big piece. There's a bone on it. It's going to exothermically lose some of that energy that it has. So it took it up to 168, and then again, it's dropped down to 154. So it's starting to cool, which means it's done resting. So let's go ahead and get our chicken. Pull out our nice clean thermometer. Look, I can literally like clean it with my fingers. It's great. Now let's go ahead and flip it over. See all this lovely meat on the bone, we want to start pulling that apart just like so. Keep some of that skin with us, but look at that. That amount of moisture that's in there. Oh wow, that's really good. I'm gonna focus on the meat part of the breast right now. Sorry about the noise, but look at that, the tender. It's perfect. It can't be any more perfect. So let's go ahead and cut her in half. We've got our crispy skin right here. That is really amazing. But just look at that. It's perfect. People say chicken breasts are dry, and they are, if you don't cook them properly. With this thermometer and the techniques that I've showed you today, you can make perfect chicken breast. That is nice and succulent and moist. And I didn't have to brine this, which is even better. So let's go ahead. Let me clean up my mess. I'm gonna come back to you. Let's go ahead and talk about Inkbird and what I actually think of this particular unit. All right, everybody, time to go ahead and give my thoughts on Inkbird's new barbecue thermometer. First off, right out of the gate, the packaging's amazing. I know I said this earlier, but I want to give you my final thoughts. I love all the little touches that they put together. I love how all 4 thermometers work. I think it just does an amazing job for what you get. Second, the infotainment screen is nice if I'm gonna complain about anything, and I mean anything. I'd like to be able to make my adjustments here without using the phone, using the app on my phone. Reason being, sometimes it's just easier to make it here than it is on this thing that I'm using right now. That being said, that's a very small critique because the app in the on my iPhone works fantastic. And the app that Inkbird has set up for all of its tools, it's all the same app. So if you have other Inkbird products, you know how well this works. Comes with its own charging cord. I've talked to you about the flip in the back and how I wish it was lower, and I still really do. But again, if you are looking for a quad tip thermometer so that you can cook multiple parts, and believe me, I can see why this would be helpful. You saw today I had 3 different proteins in my egg. Easily could have had a 4th, depending on what I was doing. But imagine you're cooking something larger and you want to know where multiple things cook. Brisket, for instance, the point cooks a lot slower than the flat. But I've got other videos I'll link up here that we can go ahead and discuss that on. But anyways, this was a great product. Love the packaging. Love the infotainment screen and how it's set up. Love the 4 thermometers. I think it's great. If you're in the market for one of these, obviously you're watching this video, you're in the market for one of these, go ahead and check out my affiliate link below, see what you think. If you like this kind of video, let me know. You know, this is the 3rd one of these I've done with Inkbird, and I've enjoyed it. So if you want to see me do more things, please go ahead and put a comment down below. If you're not subscribed and you come here all the time, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps. And as always, have an amazing barbecue week. Go ahead and put down below, you know, what you want me to go ahead and work on next. What do you want me to make next? What do you want Inkbird to send me next to work on? And yeah, we'll get right to it. Thanks, and have a fantastic barbecue week. See ya.